Good night, everyone. If you're able to hear me, please let me know. Want to make sure that this is working properly. Leon, Brianna, are you guys able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Let's say good night to our friends on YouTube. Shade, let's see. Mari K, who else? I see Shaw. Great. Rose is here. Let's see. Williams, Hills, Nugent. Let's go down some more. Good. Nugent is saying we have good audio. Brown is here. Martin is here. Good night, guys. I don't think that we're going to be very long tonight. We're only going to look at two quick parts. Let's do a little bit of a review of what we did in our last episode. In our last episode, we were looking at analogies. And one of the most important things in working with those is that we need to remember to build or bridge sentence. Okay. And when we do that, just the same way a bridge gets you to where you want to go, the bridge sentence helps to get you to your answer. Okay. All right. I'm seeing Harris here. Good to see you. Ah, here we have someone saying, hi, team grade 6. Good. Yes, miss, we see you. Who is this? White. Good to see you. Kelly. Good to see you too. All right. So let's press on. All right. Tin is here as well. Great. Let's press on. So again, the bridge helps us to get to where we want to go. And similarly, the bridge sentence helps to get us to our answer. And we went through here. For example, in this case, we said that the time is to clock. Time is to clock as what? Temperature is to. And remember that analogies are all about relationships. Now, we can have several relationships that apply to a given thing, but we're going to look for those relationships that help to complete the analogy in the best possible way. So here we go. We have here, we use the clock to tell time. In a similar way, the thermometer is used to tell the temperature. And we had practice here. We were supposed to write or bridge sentences. I can't do that properly now. And we're supposed to give our reasoning here. Remember always that your thinking is important. The correct thinking will lead us to the correct place. Faulty thinking will lead us to faulty conclusions. All right. So we have to work on that. The thinking process. We went to classification and we went through these as well. Okay. Now we're going to move on to essential part. Essential part. All right. Let's see who else has joined us. I'm seeing Musically. I'm seeing Tishan, Brown, Booth. Right. Good night. Amari K, you just have to check your device and that resolution that you're getting here. I think it's from your side. There's nothing more I can do on my side to have it better for you. All right, so just refresh your device if needs be. If you're watching on YouTube, there is a function in the bottom right hand corner there of the screen that allows you to adjust the resolution, so you can move it up from auto to 720p, and that should be the maximum that we can get on this platform. Okay, so essential part. Let's see now. Tessan, part of the
Yes,
panel.
sir.
Tess, how you doing?
Good.
All right, great. Tell me this: when you hear the word essential, what comes to mind?
Need.
Need. Okay, need. Any other word, synonym? Any other synonym comes to mind?
Mm,
Need is a good one. Anything else?
it's necessary.
Necessary. Well, all right, let's go. For this type of question, you must identify which what part from a given list is an absolute necessity. Seeing that one, miss? Let's look at
Yes,
this.
sir.
For example, which is an essential part of the word in bold? Now, what word is in bold here?
Television.
Good. All right. So, and your options would have been
A. Remote control. B.
mm,
Cable. C. Netflix. And D. Screen.
mm. All right. It says, let's see. And here's our little friend again, and he's doing some thinking. He says, let's see, which of these could a television not, look at that word, not work without? And which one? You tell me.
Sir, I'd say D. Screen.
The screen. But oh, you got to turn on the TV if you don't have no remote.
Sir, some TVs, I think probably not all of them,
Hmm.
but I had a TV that you didn't have to use the remote. You could just go up to the TV and press a button and it would come on.
You mean get up and walk?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
my
then not
dear.
everyone has cable and
Oh,
not everyone has the money to pay for Netflix or wants
uh,
to watch Netflix.
all right, very good. So though those things are associated with a TV, they might not be an essential part of the TV. Okay, you can live without Netflix. You can live without quote unquote cable. You don't need a remote control, but for the TV, we're gonna need that screen. Okay, so here, could a television work without a remote? Yes. Could it work without cable? Yes. Could a television work without Netflix? Of course. Could a television work without a screen? You you make some game inside of the house and you're throwing something and crack mommy's TV screen. You know the big one, the 55-inch one that you did work hard for. You crack that screen and see if it will continue to work. Right? You're gonna have a problem there. It says which is an essential part and screen. Without the screen, we will not be able to watch the television. Therefore, the screen is an essential part. I hope that you guys have gotten that. Now let's practice. Let's throw this one to our friends on YouTube. Let's go with our YouTube friends first, and let's have a reader. Ajani, could you read this for our friends on YouTube? Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Go
Which
ahead.
is an essential part of the word in bold? Hurricane.
Hmm.
The options are A. Flood, B. Wind, C. Rain, D. Tsunami.
Very good. Let's hear. Let's hear from our friends. Several answers coming in here. I see. Let's go. Tayshawn has it. Kia Lee has it. Here, Nugent. Um, well, Brown, we're going to look at this and see. Let's go see if we have any other. Kerr, good. Let me check and see. Dukan, right. Let's see. All right, Dean, good going. Let's see what Graham up to. Graham as well. Cool. Let's see Leslie. Still blurry. Just check for me, please. All right. All right. So we have a few answers there. Now, from the panel, uh, let me see. Is that four? Is that Tatum? Tatum? Tatum?
Yes, sir.
What you doing?
Fine. I'm good.
Tell me, why would you pick the answer that you did? A lot of people saying the
Yes,
answer.
sir. I would pick wind
Mm-hmm.
because an essential part of a hurricane for it to build up. To
Mm-hmm.
a hurricane, it needs a strong source of wind.
Mm. In fact, the definition for a hurricane, it has to get to a certain wind speed, right? In order for it to be classified as a hurricane. Below that, it will be called some version of a storm. So if we check our dictionary, hurricane, a storm with a violent wind, in particular, a tropical cyclone in the Caribbean, right? And they have different scales that they use to do so. It has to be 118 kilometers an hour in some instances to be so classified. And we know that they're rated from what, one? They're rated from one, category one to category five. All right. Thank you for that. Let's go to our panelists. Panelists. This one is for you. Let's go. Let me see if I can get Lacia.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Recipe. My options are dessert, direction, cookbook, utensils.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I would pick sir directions.
Tell me why. What's your thinking?
Sir, because if you have a cookbook, it would show the directions how
Mm-hmm.
to bake a cake or other cooking.
All right, hang
Other
on. Hang on a second and let's go back to our example here. Could I have a recipe without something? Let's go. Could I have a recipe without desserts? Could I have a recipe without utensils? Could I have a recipe without a cookbook? Could I have a recipe without directions? Your answer is
directions, sir.
okay. So the essential part of a recipe must be the what? Directions. Okay. Let me see. Marker J says here. Let's see if we can get Marker J's answer. Marker J says directions because definition a set of instructions for preparing a particular dish. That's a good one. All right. So I can have a recipe, but I don't necessarily have a cookbook, for example, because there are some recipes that are passed down from your grandmother to your mother to you that are not in a cookbook per se. You know, some mama have this special way of cooking the gungo rice and peas on the wood fire so that it has this nice flavor with this smoke, and she put in a little pimento here and some secret something that nobody else knows about, but it makes the rice and peas taste right. Those directions are not necessarily in some cookbook somewhere, but the recipe, you have to have directions. Okay. All right. Let's see what Hales is. You do not need the others, but directions, sir. It is needed to help us to know how to make it and to understand how. Yes, it was very good. All right. So we are all on the same path here. Let's go back over to YouTube. This one is yours. I'll get a reader for this one. Let's go with Brianna. Brianna, read that one for me, please.
Vibration. A. Sound. B. Power. C. Motion. D. Science.
All right, let's see what our friends on YouTube have for this one. Justin Paul is the first one here with an answer. Motion. Let's see who else is coming in with this one. Let's go. Wolf has one there. Avis has an answer there. Let's see. Martin has an answer there. Let's go back here. Sound. Let's see. Know that you guys are into your science. So let's see. Odin. What Odin? All right. All right. Let's see who I can ask for this one. Let me see if I can pull Leon into the mix here. All right, we can't pull Leon in. We'll max out with panelists right now. Let's go. Ajani, what's your response? Do you agree with these guys on YouTube who are saying motion? Some people say sound. What say you?
Sir, I say motion.
All right, let me hear the thinking now using the strategy that was presented earlier for essential part. We are going to say that vibrations cannot exist without. Yeah, Moya said 1-1. Vibrations cannot exist without sound, cannot exist without go.
Vibrations cannot exist without sound. Vibration cannot exist without power. Vibration cannot exist without motion. Vibration cannot exist without science.
All right. And why did you choose option C, motion?
Sir, for example, sir, I picked motion because we were actually doing a topic on this in science once, where with the ruler, where we put it on the desk and we flick with our finger and it would vibrate. We have to apply some kind of motion with our fingers so it would vibrate, and that motion we applied was by flicking our fingers onto the ruler.
Excellent. Like how you make it real. Could vibrations exist without the concept of science? Suppose you never did science or never knew about science. Would it affect vibrations from existing?
No, sir, because eventually someone would just try it, sir, and then they would
Make
come up
that
with some name for it, sir. So I don't really think it would exist without science.
all right. So it would exist without having the knowledge of science per se. All right. We probably wouldn't have scientific language for it, but it would exist. Let's go to power. Vibrations can exist without power if we're talking about electric power. Vibrations in the earth, for example, in the Caribbean now, there are tremors that are happening. They say the ground is vibrating because of what? Some movement in the earth, the plates inside of the earth. So things can exist. Vibrations could exist without power. Sound, we know that vibrations can exist without a sound being made. Let's say, remember, for humans, we are able to hear between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz, and that would be what? Audible. This audible spectrum for us in terms of hearing. But guess what? There are some sounds that are ultrasonic or above our range of hearing. For example, give me one setup like that. Something that happens way above our hearing. Can I think of one? An animal that can hear above humans, hear sounds that we can't hear.
A dog?
Dogs. And how we know that? For example, you could use a what?
A car. We could say that you used this example before that basically the dog owner owns a pro box and the neighbor owns the same car.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them go at the same time and come back home the same time. And the dog would run out
Mm-hmm.
to whenever he hears the car coming, but you don't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But the dog hear it. But both cars make the same sound, but you said that each car has a special sound that the dog can hear.
All right.
So
So
the
there's
dog
a
knows the difference between the two cars.
all right. So there could be sounds that we are not to us. The two cars sound the same, but there are frequencies that are unique to each that the dog will be able to identify. So even though the two cars are the same, the dog will say, this one is not the one that belongs to my owner. But not only that, what about bats? Remember, we were talking about bats and so on. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
there are actually sounds that are made that we can't hear, but it doesn't mean that since we don't hear the sound that those vibrations are not taking place. All right. So motion is the answer that we're looking for. Okay. All right.
Okay, sir.
Something has to be moving for the vibrations to take place. And just on that, there are also sounds that are below our range of hearing, right? So take, for example, elephants can hear sounds that are way below our, ability to hear those. All right. So we jump off and gone into a whole heap of science there, but still good work being done. All right, let's jump over now to artificial language. Let me see if I got Tessan back. Tess, are you back?
Yes, sir.
All right, read this section for me, please.
Artificial language. This type of question will require you to analyze words based on an invented language and derive rules or patterns from them. You will then have to use these rules and patterns to figure out other words in this made-up language. For example, the words in bold below come from an artificial language. Examine the meaning of each word and then answer the question that follows.
Mm-hmm. Whatever this
Hifan
is, I can't call it.
means fill cup.
Mm-hmm.
Verslock means blue cup,
Mm-hmm.
and Rospokifon
Mm-hmm.
means landfill.
All right. They ask us now which word could mean fill bottle. All right. When we were discussing this in class, what was the strategy that we pointed out that we could use to help us to get to this?
When we see a part of a word repeating in each of these artificial languages, and then the English word, the translated word, also appears in those artificial languages, we can identify what that part of the artificial language means.
All right. So the best approach again is to look for parts of the artificial language that repeat. Do we see any parts that are repeating so far?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you say.
I see fill and cup. Yes, sir.
Good.
So cup would mean slock and
Mm-hmm.
fill would mean hiffon.
Okay. All right.
But I don't see the word bottle there.
All
So
right.
to answer that question, since the first word they asked me to find out is fill, I would have to look which artificial language has the word hiffon at the front, and that would be B.
All right. Let's see if you're okay with that. They say here, slock means cup, right? And they say here, hiffon fill, hyphon, fill. So we deduce from this that slock means cup and hyphon means fill. All right. So what's the answer that you would take? You said that you'd have taken which one?
B.
B. All right. It has to be something with hyphon. All right. All right. Let's practice and let's see. Let's put this one. It's gonna be hard for our friends on YouTube to keep up with this one, but let's try. Let's get a reader here. Let me see. Ford, read this one for me.
Yes, sir.
Read this one for me.
Cree, Kia. Oh,
No,
here
no, no.
are
Number.
some words translated from an artificial language.
Whatever this is, what does it mean?
Means workforce,
Whatever that word is means what?
groundwork,
Whatever this is, it means.
workplace.
All
Which
right, cool.
word could mean someplace?
Someplace. We're trying to get to someplace. All right, let me see. We don't have to worry about how the thing is properly pronounced and all of that. Remember, it's an artificial, it's a made up, it's not real, it's a made up language. All right. Let's see, people on YouTube, what would your answer be for this one? All right. Somebody's saying D there. Let's go. Let's go. Some people are saying A. Chiara says A. Wish I could call Chiara now and have her express her thinking there. Mary K says A as well. Somebody saying B. All right. Let's get to it. Let's see what the thinking is from one of our panelists. Let's go back to Brianna. Brianna, what's your answer? What do you say? Why?
Sir, I say D.
What's your thinking? What makes you say so?
Sir, I'd like to change my answer to A because
Okay.
RI means ground and place is at the end, which is nullity or nullity. I will change it to morality.
All right. Let's go through our strategy. Our strategy is that we're going to look for the parts of the word that repeat so we can identify that. Let's go. In the first one here, Kraken, whatever this is, it means workforce. I'm going to go to this one, Drita Kraken, which means groundwork. Now, work is in both of these. What part of the word or words is common? Which part?
Crackren, sir.
All right. So we identify here that this the KREKIN that could be work because we see it in both of these. Then I have workplace and I see Kraken here again. So work, work, work. Okay. So I already know that any word that has Kraken cannot be my answer. True? Because look at this. Here, B can't be the answer because they say someplace and Kraken would already mean what? Work. So B out of it already. So we can take B and we can put in one side. All right, let's go now. So we're looking for which of the ones that have place in there. This would be this one. We know Kraken already means work. So the alti or altai would mean what? place. So I need an answer that has alti, okay, or alti. Let's go with this now. So D have that, C has that, and A has that. Okay. So what do we look? We know that place must be where? At the beginning or the end?
Place should be at the end.
Okay. So can I take C and put one side then?
No.
Tell me why not.
Yes,
Remember?
sir. See one
Okay.
side.
Okay. Because we take B already and we put one side. We take in C now because the part that we're looking for is in the wrong place. So we're going to put this one side as well. So we are now left with D and A as the two what? Options that are left. Let's go with Drita or whatever this altai and see if we can see anything in there that relates to what's happening here. Do you see that anywhere in the words that are there? Let's look at the artificial language here. Do we see any part of this anywhere here in the first phrase, first one, second, or third?
Yes, sir. The second one.
Very good. And what would it mean in the context of the what? The word given?
Would mean ground.
Cool. So this would be ground what then? If we were to put this together.
Groundwork.
Groundwork. Altai is the place. So it would be what?
Ground place.
So now just by the process of elimination, because we took C and put away, we took B, put B one side. Now we take D rather, and put that one aside as well. We're only left with what? A. Okay. Now we don't know what this means because they didn't give us enough information. But since it's the only one we have left, then our answer must be this one. And again, to confirm that, it also has the what? The place, that part of the word in the right place as well. All right. I hope that you guys are seeing that. This one can be a bit challenging, but we have to work through the options one by one to get to where we want. All right. All right. Let's try another one. Here we go. Here are some translated words translated from an artificial language. And let's go. Let me see who is here. I see Gabby. Let's see if we can get Gabby. All right. Gabby, able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Let's go with this one. Whatever this is, what does it mean?
Fruitcake.
Good. Whatever this word is means what?
Cakewalk.
Whatever this one is means what?
Buttercup.
Cool. So we have those phrases. Now, according to the strategy, what are we going to do? We're going to look for the what? Parts of the words that what?
That could be cupcake.
No, not yet. We're going to look for pay attention to those parts that are repeat. Very good. In order to find what means cupcake. That's what we're looking for. Let's look now. So when I look at this word that means fruit cake, and then I look at cake walk, any repeating part is there?
Packy.
Packy here, cake. So this part, the packy part here, so means cake. All right. Theft Alan, buttercup. We want to think that what part of it could mean cup.
The land.
The land. Okay, all right. Could be the land or Alan, something like that. Let's go now and extend this and see if we can get to cup cake. So We already know that paki means cake. Let's look now. Any of these options we can get rid of because it don't have paki in there.
A, B, and B.
A and B gone. They don't have paki in there, so we can take those and put them one side. All right, cool. Let's go now with C and D. All right. Where should the paki be in the word cupcake?
At the end.
At the end. Ah. So that means that it can't be C then. Let's see if our answer is correct by looking now for the other part of the word cup. Cup. What did we say it should be again? Lan or Alan. So that part here, cup.
Yes, sir.
And then the part paki for the cake. Alan paki. Okay. Now I see you're thinking for D. Okay. So again,
yes,
Gabby, what do we need to do? Look for the parts that what? Repeat, and then use the process of elimination to get to the word that we're looking for. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I hope so. All right, we have one last one. That will be it for tonight. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see if we can get. All right, 10.
Yes, sir.
Help me with this one. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Let's go with this one. So whatever this means, whatever this is,
It means
molocarn.
blue sky.
And whatever this one is means what?
Bicycle race.
And this one means what?
Blue bicycle.
All right. And what word are we trying to come up with?
Race car.
All right. What's the strategy again? What are we going to look for?
Look for things that are alike.
Or things that repeat. All right. Let's go. So statement 1, 2, and 3. Anything that you see that repeat?
In statement 1 and 3, willow. Yes, it's wait. Mono. Is that moo?
Whatever it is, sir. I don't know if it's mulo or molo. I don't know. But whatever that is, what does it represent?
Blue.
Okay, so we see blue here and we see blue there. All right, all right. Let's go to the next one. We're looking for race.
Yes, sir.
What do you think it could be? What part of the word do you think it could be that would represent race?
Paddy or Addy?
All right, cool. So let's go through now and see. Anything that has...
Sir, Spuddy.
All right. Anything that has Wilco in it.
We would eliminate it.
All right, cool. So let's look at A. A have Wilco in there?
Yes, sir.
So for now, we could just put that A aside. What about B?
No, sir, because it has Paddy at the starting, and that means race.
Okay.
But it can also be removed because willow means bicycle, so it can be removed.
So we can take that one as well and put that one side. Cool. Let's go to C. Mulo. What you're thinking on that
lubrical?
One? Say again.
Monolubrical?
Yes, that option C. Can we keep option C or put it one side?
Put it one side.
Tell me why.
Because it starts with moo instead of spuddy.
Which means what? And based on what? Blue. All right. So using the process of elimination, and we have taken out all of the options that we know are things that we need to put to the side. We are now left with D, but we need to check it to see if what we want is in the right place. Now, let's go with this. In the statements given, do we have anything that tells us what car is?
No, sir.
All right, so it's going to be something that we have not seen yet. Cool.
Unknown.
But unknown, but there must be a part that we know. Okay.
Yes,
What
sir.
what part do we know?
Spotty.
Very good, which means what?
Race.
So we are comfortable in choosing what? D,
D.
because it fulfills all the conditions that we need. All right, guys, I need you guys to practice. If you have your textbooks, practice this thing about the artificial language. It is going to take some practice to get used to this. Again, the strategy here, look for the parts that repeat so you can identify what those parts are. Then use the process of elimination to get to your final answer. All right, that will be it for this evening. Take care, guys. I will see you all in our next episode. Okay, bye, guys.
Goodbye, sir.
All right, take care.